Hello, my YouTube friends. Thanks for joining in tonight. Man, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do now and slam that bell because we got a lot of great things going on. Man, I'll get so pumped up. And one is the Shure SM7B microphone giveaway. Man, you don't want to miss out. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button, slam that bell, and type down there as to why you love a Shure microphone, and that'll get you in. Oh, man, I'm so pumped up. Tonight, we're going to be talking about subtractive EQing and taking off that mask. That's right, all that masking. You might be saying, man, what the heck is he talking about? Taking off the mask, masking. Maybe you've never heard of masking, but it is a major problem in your mixing. And you can get tracks down and go, man, I can't hear the bass. I can't hear the kick now. I can't you raise up the volume. Oh, I can't hear the kick. What's going on is masking. It's those frequencies that are taking up the same space and canceling each other out to where you cannot hear what's going on anymore. So, we're going to talk about subtractive EQing tonight, man, and how it's so much better to subtract than to boost. Man, I can't tell you how many times I've walked in behind the board or someone that really didn't know what they were doing behind the mixing board. Probably shouldn't even have been there in the first place, but hey, a lot of people volunteer, and so there you go. But get behind the board and I watch them and everything they're doing on every channel, boosting, boost here, boost, never cutting. I'm thinking, what the heck is going on? Oh my gosh. So, look, if you don't know what masking is all about, I suggest check out this video for one. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video and share for people who don't know what masking is about, and perhaps it may help them in their mixing as well. One of the first things that you're going to run across in masking is always, before you even get down 10 or 15 or 20 tracks, is your kick drum and the bass guitar. These two instruments share the same frequencies, and man, you'll be fighting one another all day long trying to get one of them to stand out in front of the other or hear both of them. And so, what I like to do is run a spectrum analyzer on things if I'm not sure what frequencies or what and what's canceling out each other. A lot of times your ears can't tell, but a spectrum analyzer will definitely show you what's going on as to where those frequencies are going up and down and where that bass guitar is at, you know? And so the spectrum analyzer is a must, especially for you guys who are just learning and don't know anything about EQ and don't know anything about frequency and where each instrument lies in the spectrum, what instruments take up what space in that spectrum. And so learning these, what instruments take up what space is vital, crucial, imperative, and it either takes time or it takes looking at your spectrum analyzer to see where these instruments in what space they take up on the spectrum. And I'll tell you what, so let me just show you something here real quick. This will help you guys out. Um, if you don't know, so subtractive EQing is a must, especially when you start adding and layering different instruments. You got, let's just say you have two acoustic guitars. You know, it's a good thing to know where's what frequencies take up that acoustic guitar. Typically, acoustic guitars are in your 400, 500 range is where the energy is in those guitars. So it's just depicting on which one you want to be heard the loudest. Okay. And let's just say, for instance, you have an acoustic guitar and it's really, really hitting around 425 or whatever. You might want to boost that one 1 dB in that area at 425. And then on the other acoustic guitar, cut in that area. That way, these two acoustic guitars aren't masking each other and cutting each other out. So I know a lot of times I've seen too many times where someone would go in and have two acoustic guitars. They both share the same frequencies. And man, I'll continue to watch them keep pushing up the faders, pushing up. Oh, I can't hear this one. Now I hear this one. I'll try to pan it to the right. I'll try to pan this one to the left. But still, by the time they're done with the mix, the acoustic guitars are way too loud. And that's not the prominent instrument that you want to be heard in the mix. So, volume panning, EQing, and masking this plays a large role as to which one you want to hear the most in the mix, which one wants to be the prominent instrument, and then also cutting those frequencies so that you can hear the two and don't have to push them up as loud to try to hear them. By the time you keep pushing them up, they're way too loud over everything else, and then your mix is out of balance. So, yeah, man, subtractive EQing is a must. I wanted to share something with you in case you don't know. Typically, your sub sound is going to be anywhere from the 50 hertz to around the 110. Okay, and then your rumble, if you're getting a lot of rumble in your mix and it sounds just that those frequencies are going to lie anywhere from 80 to around 260, 250 hertz. So, you can subtract in that area if you're getting a lot of rumble in your mix. Subtract, start around that 80 to 250 and start subtracting. That should clear up that rumble. And then I want to say probably from about, I don't know, 200 to 500 is your mud. That's where things sound kind of muddy and things are going on. Now, these are areas that you can subtract and start cutting if after the fact you've done everything else, after the fact that you've got all your levels, a good balance between everything, and you've already on each individual channel, cut so that there isn't any masking going on and you're still having problems. This is an area that you can come back and start cutting more in these areas to clean things up, and then your mix will just be crystal clear, man. You'll be able to hear everything. You'll be able to hear your mix better without pushing up the gains on everything. And it'll just sound so much better and alive and more realistic sounding whenever you start using subtractive EQing. So your bud runs around there, all the way up to around 500 hertz, and then your your harmonics in the mix will typically run from 500 hertz up to around, I don't know, somewhere around 4K. So your harmonics are going to be in that area up to about 4K. And then your harshness, if your mix sounds really harsh and kind of brittle sounding and harsh sounding, those are going to be from 1K all the way up to around 6 or 7K. Now, write this down because you're going to need to use this later on and try this out. You're going to love this, man. It's really helped me out a lot as far as cutting those frequencies and pinpointing on, where I needed to do my subtractive EQing. And then I want to say for your sizzle is somewhere around from like 5 kilohertz to around 10 or 12 kilohertz. You might even try a little past there around 13 kilohertz just to see if that helps. So around 5 to 13 kilohertz should be that sizzle sound, little sparkle sound and whatnot. So you might want to try that too. And write that down, you guys, if you haven't written it down. Try it on your mix and see how that helps you. But I know whenever the worst thing you can do is just start boosting everything behind the EQ and think that you're going to get somewhere by boosting everything. And that just goes to show you that a lot of people that are behind the board really don't know too much about EQ or where the instruments lie and what frequency, space, footprint, so to speak, that instrument takes up. So, knowing where these instruments, what frequency range they take up, um, is very, very imperative when you go to doing your mixing, especially if you start adding a lot of tracks. If you're doing something where you got, say, 12 or 15 tracks at most, um, it won't be nearly as hard to do subtractive EQing or whatever to get a good mix anyway. To whereas if you have like 50 tracks of something going on, man, you're going to run into a lot of masking and a lot of cancellation. And so, I've seen people do some crazy EQing on things, man, just to get that ear candy stuff to stand out in the mix. And if you hear the instrument on its own, you'll be going, man, that's just way too bright sounding. There's no way that a guitar could sound like that or whatever. But I've heard people cut all the low end off of it and just give it a little bit of the high, just to hear things in the mix. So there's some crazy things that people do with EQ, but when it's in the whole mix as together, when it's all in the pot and the soup, it doesn't sound so bad after all. It sounds perfect. It sounds good. Uh, so you're not judging the instrument as an individual instrument once you do the cutting and all this other stuff, surgical EQing on it. You're judging the whole mix as a whole. So you're typically trying to fit everything in. You're going to have your bass guitar, you're going to have your kick drum, you're going to have your drums as a whole. You'll probably have an electric guitar in there, maybe even two electric guitar and a lead guitar in there. And then you're going to have keyboards possibly. You're going to have strings in there possibly. You may even have horns in there. So the more instruments you have, the more these masking is possibly going to take place. So you need to give each instrument its own footprint, its own space, or its own home. However you want to, put that into terms, but it needs its own space in the mix. So, don't judge it on its own. Judge it as a whole once you get the mix together. Bam! That's going to help you guys out, man. That's going to help your mixing out big time right there, man. And this is the number one thing. This is a good key to remember, man. If you don't know, if you don't know where things sit in the mix and what frequencies they're being taken up by a specific instrument, run you a spectrum analyzer on it, man. Put the old spectrum analyzer on it and just watch it alone and watch. It'll show you those little needles, those little bars will be jumping up there. 450, 500 hertz, bam, bam, bam. It'll be slamming up high. You'll see what frequency range that guitar is taking up. Okay. And so then you can go in after the fact and start cutting. Then look at your spectrum analyzer again. See what's going on then. I guarantee you those high peaks that you were looking in the 400 or 450 range, start cutting in there. They're going to be down here. They're going to go down. You're going to start cutting them. And you start cleaning up the mix, man. Start cleaning it up. Use that spectrum analyzer. It's there for a reason. Don't be scared of it. Put it on that track so that you can check out what's going on. Oh, man. And then pink noise. There's another one, man. You want to run that pink noise on your master track and see what's going on there. See if you got a good balance on everything. And it'll let you know, too. It'll show you, you want that little hill thing going on down there, too. By the time you get to the end of the mix, it kind of looks like something like this. Okay. That's what it's going to look like when you know you got a good mix. Okay. And that pink noise will show you that. The pink noise will show you where everything's hitting on that scale. Okay. So, pink noise, spectrum analyzer, subtractive EQing. This is going to help you guys, man, big time in your mix. It took me a while to figure out a lot of that stuff. I was one of those who thought, well, if I just, you know, put so many tracks down and didn't try to over track my my mix, then I wasn't gonna have to really worry about uh, EQing as much and and worry about masking as much. But here's the downfall of all that. It's good to layer things. It's good to thicken up things. You want a big sound. You want a big sounding mix. And so, when you start layering things and whatnot, just keep in mind that everything needs its own space, its own little home, its own little bed to sleep in. And you're going to clean up that mix, and your mix is going to sound a lot better, man. And you're going to really appreciate, using a spectrum analyzer on all your stuff. Um, at first, it seems like I want to say late 90s or whatever, but I started using a spectrum analyzer. And a friend of mine who also did a lot of recording was telling me about it, how he loved using it. And at first, I was a little gun shy. And like I say, I was a little gun shy of using it. But after I started using it, man, it was like, oh my gosh, man, this is the next best thing to loaf to bread, And so I started using that spectrum analyzer all the time, and it just started cleaning up my mixes, and I was able to get a better, badder, bigger sounding mix with less going on. And it really surprised me because when there's masking going on, you get this mud, like I was saying, and this mud dulls everything out. It's kind of a real dull sounding. And I know you've heard it. I know you would. I know you know what mud sounds like. So it just kind of dulls and nulls everything out. But whenever nothing is masking in the mix, all of a sudden your mix sounds much louder, even at a lower volume, because there isn't any masking going on. There isn't one instrument, saying, "Look, I want this space," and this instrument saying, "No, I want this space," and this one they're fighting for the same room. Okay, they're fighting for that same room, and they're canceling each other out because they're too busy fighting. Okay. So I hope I explained that in many different ways that you guys can understand. But yeah, use a spectrum analyzer on your stuff. Use pink noise on your tracks, and that'll help you get a good balance on everything first. Run that pink noise on everything. If you don't know how to run pink noise, it's really really easy. Put it on your master track. Mute all the other tracks. Start at your kick drum. If your kick drum's on track number one, unmute track number one. You're going to hear tss. That's what pink noise sounds like, kind of like white noise. And then you want to bring track one up, up. You hear that kick, kick, kick till you barely start hearing the kick. Boom, boom, boom. And then back it down just where you just tuck it underneath that white noise. Mute that track, move to the next track. That might be your snare. Tat, tat, tat. Bring it on up till you hear that tat, 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 and then tuck it right back underneath there. Do all your tracks like that individually, and then you're going to have a good balance, okay? You don't have to spend hours in the mixing room trying to get a good balance. You're going to know that it's a good balance, okay? Your ears won't be deceiving you. That pink noise won't lie to you, okay? Then after you do that, then start checking for masking and all that other stuff. Start doing that negative subtractive EQing. That's going to help you out big time. And like I say, if two guitar parts and they're fighting for that 500 range energy, boost one a little bit in that area and cut the other one. That way they're separate instead of together. That's going to help you out, man. So yeah, man, we got a lot of great things, man, going on here at Audio Master Studio. And I don't know if you missed out or not, but the other night I was talking about my Audio Master t-shirts that I am going to be making, and I'm excited about getting them out. Audio Master in white on a black shirt. Don't want to miss out. And also, they're going to be really cool because I'm going to be giving out one a week or maybe even two a week. Audio Master. We're going to do this for 3 months. So you guys that love recording and you guys that love getting behind the board and pushing those faders up and down, EQ and whatnot, getting those compressors smacking and those um, preamps burning, you're gonna love my Audio Master. I'm thinking about this. Okay, I'm gonna let you in on what it's gonna look like. Audio Master on the front, Audio Master, and possibly some tube type looking gear on the back. I won't tell all until it's done because I don't want anybody stealing my design, man. So, but if you're an audio engineer and you love recording, mixing, mastering, you're gonna love these t-shirts. And also, since you're checking out this channel, man, hit that like button for me, man. Give me a big thumbs up and help support my channel. And also, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and share the video, man. Share the video because I'm sure there's people out there that don't know anything about subtractive EQing, okay, or masking, taking off that mask. No, I'm not talking about the makeup on your face. I'm talking about masking frequencies that tend to cancel each other out, that these instruments are fighting for the same space. And so, share my video, man. Share my video. Hit that subscribe, hit that like button. And also, type down there as to why you like a Shure microphone. I mean, it's really easy, guys. Just type down there below as to why you like the Shure microphone after you've subscribed, after you've rang that bell, and that's going to enter you in the contest to win one of these, man. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be giving these away, okay? Um, but I don't want you to miss out because you didn't subscribe and slam that bell. So get in the drawing on winning one of these, man. It's that easy. And also, this Monday, I have the RE20 coming in Electro Voice. Electro Voice, man. Electro Voice, man. It is one of my favorite microphones of all time, the Electro Voice, just simply because they're made to last a lifetime. You're looking at one right up there. You see it up there? You see it right there? That one's nearly 50 years old and it sounds superior. Not just good, but it sounds superior, man. And so, yeah, my RE20 is coming in Monday and I'm going to be doing an unboxing. That's right. I'm going to be doing an unboxing on that puppy. And I can't wait to get one in my hands again. I want to tell you a little thing that happened the other night. I had a dream, okay? I was in the REM sleep. If you don't know what REM means, not the group REM. I know they're a great band, but I'm talking about REM when you go to sleep and you get into that dream stage. Okay? I was dreaming. I was happy. I had a smile on my face. And I woke up and I was in the dream and I was holding the Electro Voice RE20. And so after I woke up, I was thinking, that must be a sign. I need to get an RE20 back in my studio. So I ordered one, man. I ordered one. It's going to be here Monday. And I'm going to have the Electro Voice RE20 back in my studio as a workhorse. And I can't wait. Gosh. Man, I used to have one years ago and got rid of it with a bunch of my other microphones that I regret getting rid of because I am a mic collector and a mic lover of all these years. And I really believe that everyone who is into recording and into mixing and all that needs to have an arsenal of microphones to work with. And so it is a must. And it's actually imperative that you get to know these microphones and what frequencies they actually work and how they sound. And mic placement when you go to mic your drums or when you go to mic your guitar caps. All this plays a large role as to getting a great take. Once you have a great take and using the right microphone on the right instrument, sometimes you'll find there's very little, if any, EQing that needs to be done. And then it's just picking the right instruments that you want to be in the arrangement of the mix. And there's no masking hardly at all going on. So if there's no EQing, then there's no masking, right? Okay. So it all gets down to the microphone and the instrument and the arrangement. What are instruments are going to be in that mix to begin with? So these are the good things to think out ahead of time as you're writing the song and the arrangement of the song. What instruments are going to come into play in this mix and what instruments are going to be fighting for what frequencies. Okay? Learn this, study this. Don't just jump in there and start throwing things in and not knowing, not having a target to shoot for. If you have a target to shoot for, kind of like a dartboard, you have a target to throw at, okay, you're going to get much closer at hitting the bullseye than if you're just throwing at a wall, okay? Got to have a target, and your target is the song, right? So, always, here's another good tip. A good tip for you guys when you're recording and you know what song and you know what instruments are going to be in the song and you know what instruments are going to be fighting for what frequencies in the song, and you know what genre this type of song is, okay, this is looking ahead, right? This is looking ahead. Then what you can do is take a song that you kind of want or that you like and use it as a reference. Go ahead and print that song on track number one, and then you compare your mix as you start mixing things out as to what instrument you want to be the driving force in the song, whether it's the kick drum or the snare in your face, you know, and you can pick whatever elements that you want and instruments that you want to be the driving force. This all plays a large role as to getting close to the song that you're shooting for, the target, right? And it's just going to help your mixing a lot better when you kind of like a home builder, okay? A home builder before he starts to build a home, okay? He has a plan, he has a blueprint. And that's his target, okay? Now he might have to improv here and there, and he'll get with the homeowner on this and say, "Okay, well, can we do this? I think this might be better. What do you think?" Discuss it. Yeah, you can make that a revision. You can make those alterations. I'm okay with it. But what does he have? He has a blueprint. He has a plan. He has a target. Okay? Same way with the song. Got to have a blueprint. That blueprint is typically a lot of times the instruments that's going to come into play in that song, in the mix. Okay? And having a plan ahead of time, then you, as the engineer or the songwriter or whoever else, can kind of make the right decisions on what you need to do before you even start. And so that's why, me personally, if I'm doing any tracking on any of my own songs, I typically like to know where I'm going with the song, okay? And it just helps me a lot better making the right decisions on the direction that I need to go so that I'm not trying to fix things later in the mix before they even get to tape or before they even get to my DAW. Okay, I've already thought out how I'm going to get it there and try to find the right sound to get it there, the cleanest sound to get it there, or how's it going to end up in the mix? Is this vocal track going to be altered later on? Am I going to add second and third harmonics to the voice later on? Or can I address that now? right? Before I even get it in there. And that's one less thing that I have to do later. I don't have to fix it later. It's perfect going in. And so, therefore, it just makes it easier to mix later on, right? So, having a blueprint ready to go, a target to shoot for, is the way you need to go, man. This is going to help your mixes out tremendously. Tons of time. It will save you tons of time later on trying to fix things later. Have a vision, have a target, a blueprint, knowing what instruments are going to be in the mix, okay? Knowing what instruments are going to fight for the same frequencies, okay? Knowing what microphone you actually want to put on, or at least try on your guitar cab or on your vocals. All these different things are going to make your job a lot easier, especially if you're doing the mixing later on, bringing it all together and having a really, really good tune to listen to that everyone's going to be able to enjoy and hear everything perfectly crystal clear, even at a very, very low volume level. So that's what you want to do, man. That's what you want to shoot for. I hope you guys enjoyed this video tonight. If you did enjoy, again, I'm going to reiterate and say, please give me a thumbs up, share my video, and you don't want to miss out on Monday. Monday at 7 o'clock, I'll be coming in with a great video for you guys, and I'll be doing some comparison as to the aesthetics, how Electro Voice, the beauty in their designs, man. Their designs were just beautiful designs, Electro Voice. And I'll tell you another mic that I like, that I had two of them at one time, and I got rid of them in the move process, were the Jim Morrison Electro Voice 676 microphones. They're beautiful. They have the chrome body with a rib on the top. And there you go. There's some more ribs. The RE20 got those ribs. The 642 got those ribs, man. And just some way ahead. Their designs were way ahead of time. They just look timeless, and they look like they were made for the future, even 20 or 30 years from now. They don't even look like they belong here. They're just so futuristic looking, sci-fi movie like. Killer microphones, made of steel, made to last a lifetime. Electro Voice RE20. So you don't want to miss out on the unboxing. I can't wait to see you Monday night. Please join in 7 o'clock Texas time. That's right, Texas time. Join with me. The coolest YouTube place to be. Audio Master. Hit that subscribe, share to your friends, and we will see you again. End it.